it's Lily. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, guess what I'm making? You might guess that it's a cake. And yes, it is a cake. And we're doing a Valentine's Day cake / birthday cake. It's my grandma's birthday in February, and it's February. Also, Valentine's Day is in February. So my grandma, is born in a very special month. So these are the ingredients that I need. 12 ounces of flour. I have got self-raising flour, so I don't need to have bicarbonate of soda that's deep-raising. And then I also have 12 ounces of sugar, 12 ounces of butter, and then we have 5 eggs, and if you were to measure these, they would be 12 ounces. And then we have 1 cup of yoghurt, and then here we have 1/4 cup of cream. So we need to start making, but I'm not going to be separating these eggs. I'm going to be just putting all of the egg white and the egg yolk into this bowl, all of them, and then I need to whisk it up until it's fluffy to have a nice soft cake. So here we go. I'm going to be making the cake, and I'm starting with the eggs. I need a bit of space. This is my last egg. Now what we need to do is whisk it up with this. We need to whisk it very hard so that then we can get the nice fluffiness of the egg white. You can do this for like 5 minutes. This helps to get the air into the cake so that then it can rise up. This is how it looks like. So now I'm going to put the butter in, which is my second ingredient. Here it is. I've cut it up a bit so that then it doesn't go splat in there. Make sure you mix it very well until it is even more fluffy than it already is. At this point, I'm going to be putting the sugar in. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Put it in. And now we whisk it even more. First I'm going to... This is how it looks like after I put in the sugar. And now I'm going to be putting in the cream and the yogurt. Yogurt. Now after yogurt I put in the cream. Creamy. The cream is creamy. Right. Oh, that's just okay, now time to whisk these ones up. Make sure you whisk properly. You need to make sure that you do whisk properly. Make sure you sieve the flour. With this, we're going to be folding it in instead of whisking it in. It's good to sieve the flour, because if we don't sieve the flour, then there will be those lumps of flour. You know, there are those lumps when you sieve the flour. Then you get those lumps out, and if there are lumps left in the sieve, then you can just push them through with your thumb. It also helps to make the cake spongy and give it air. And here's my spatula, which we're going to be using to fold the flour in. So we fold the flour into the mixture, the cake mixture, because we don't want to whisk the air out. So we fold them in. And so now I've got my tins. I have 2 tins here that I'm going to be using for the cake. And what you do with them, you put butter around them, and then you put some flour around them. Do you know why we do this? we do this, then it's first of all easier to take the cake out when it's finished cooking, and also the cake doesn't stick to the side. Okay, now we're going to put the cake mixture in, and mostly when you have a tin like this one, it's very cool, you can easily just push the cake out from the bottom by doing this, because the bottom bit comes out. Okay, I'm going to put the cake mixture in, but you don't want to fill them to the top, because if you fill them to the top, then when they like rise in the oven, then they will be too much over the top. We just need them inside. I'm going to put half in here and half in here. I'm going to put half in here first, and I'm going to do that last, because I'm going to put half in here because it's going to be colourless. Then I'm going to stay with half in here, and then I'm going to put some food colouring, red food colouring, in the other half, so that then when we put it in there, it's going to be red. And we put the red in to indicate the red love hearts and red for the Valentine's Day. So I've put them in and I've mixed the colour. And so I've got the plain one and my coloured one. Hopefully when it's cooked, it will turn the colour that I want. So now to flatten the top bit out, I'm going to hit it on the ground like this. It just flattens it out a bit. And I'm now going to put them in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. We use an agar instead of the oven. The top one is 180 degrees Fahrenheit and the bottom one is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to use the lower temperature for my cakes, so I'm going to use the bottom one. I almost forgot. It's supposed to be at the top on the rack, not at the bottom, not on the rack. So I'm now going to cook them for 30 to 40 minutes. So now all I need to do is wait. And guess what I'm going to do while I'm waiting? All chefs know that after they've cooked, they must tidy up. So I'm going to tidy up my mess while I'm waiting. And now we need to get the cakes out of the oven. I think they probably should have been left 30 minutes. They've gone a bit brown, but that's okay. Now we need to get a toothpick. Okay, so I've got my toothpick, and now I'm going to just poke it in there to check if it's ready. There, it seems to be ready because there's nothing on it. There, that seems to be. This one seems to be ready as well. Now I'm going to leave them to cool for 15 to 20 minutes. Hi, I'm back. It's been like 2 days now, and this is my cake, and it's been in the fridge for like 2 days now. But I've been a bit ill, so I haven't been really wanting to do the cake. And as you can see, my eye, something happened to my eye at school, and so I just didn't really feel like doing the cake. So I put it in the fridge, and so I've come back to it now. But as you can see, it's a bit messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top off. But as you can see here, this cake, the middle bit isn't the same colour as this outside bit. Well, it's like that because I've swapped it with another piece of cake here. So I've swapped them round so that then it's like a mixture of cake. And then it can also be really cool when you cut it. And I used this, so I cut out the shape, and then I cut out the shape from there, and then I swap them around. Now they will look really cool. So now what I'm going to do is going to start on the cake, but before I'm going to put it on here, I first need to cut the top off. But also, I'm going to be making some candles. As you can see here, there's an example of it, but then this is what I've used. So what it is what you basically do is like get a bottle, an empty small bottle, and then you cut the top bit off and you take the lid off. If it's like this, then you take the lid off, obviously. So you cut the top bit off and then you cut the bottom bit off. So then there are 2 holes, and then you just put it into the cake like that, and then all the way down. Then you take it out, and then you'll have the cake. Then you take the cake out of the tube. Then you can cut it in half. Put one bit into here, the bottom bit into here. Put some icing over the top. Then put the other half over the top of it. And then you can get it like this. And then after you've done that, you can take it out. Take it out in this way. So you push from the bottom hole, and then you push it through the top hole, and then it will come through. Okay? So then it comes out like this, and then we put a candle in. You can choose what colour you want, but I'm using red as we're doing kind of Valentine's Day cake. So then we put the candle in the top. So then I've got the candle in now, and that's how it looks like with the candle. And then you can cover it, the cake, with either icing sugar if you want, or you can cover it with chocolate. I'm covering it with melted white chocolate, which is here. And then we now need to either ice it or chocolate it. So I'm going to chocolate it. I've got it a plate so that then I can put it in the fridge, so that then the chocolate can set a bit. So at this point, I'm going to now put it in the fridge to just set a bit. And then when it's finished setting, I'm going to take it out of the fridge, then just smoothen it out a bit so that then it's just more smooth. So now that that's in the fridge, it's time to cut the top of the cake off so that then we can clear it. And then after that, I'm going to be putting some of this icing onto here so that then it can be like glue. In all of my cake videos, I say that because we use the glue, which is this, onto here so that then the cake can stick onto the thing. I'm going to cut this top bit off. And the technique, what I'm going to do, because this bit is going to be much more messy than the bottom bit, when I put the glue onto here, then I'm going to put this upside down onto here. I've now put 2 layers of the cake on so far, but I've noticed I've used the pink for the glue and to glue this one on as well. And now I'm using red, then I'm going to be putting this one on top. Don't worry about making it too smooth. It doesn't have to be smooth because it's not the top layer. It's not the main layer. We're not going to even be seeing it. So now I'm going to be putting another layer of cake on. And now I'm going to use the white icing sugar over the top here. And then it will be pink, red, white. So I'm now going to be putting that one on top, over the top of it now. That actually looks quite pretty even though it's not done. It doesn't look too good at the moment because of how the icing's out, but we're going to smoothen it out. So now I'm going to do red again over the top here. We've kind of muddled all the colours a bit. Like as you can see, there's a bit of pink up here, but it's as big as this is the top bit. It's time we smoothed it out. Time to smoothen it up. You have to be very careful because of the edges. So I've smoothened it up quite a lot now. So I'm just going to put it in the fridge, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the finishing touches of like the icing. That's the finishing touches. So I'm going to be doing the decorating part, the icing decorating, that bit. That's going to be amazing. I've got the candle out of the fridge and I've put the cake into the fridge. So I now need to try and smoothen the candle up, but to kind of like make it rough like that one. So I want to make them kind of similar, like almost exactly the same. but I probably won't be able to make them exactly the same. I'm trying to make that melted wax that then comes down and then it dries again. It's really cool when you get those bumps. So that's what I'm trying to do. So at this point now, the cake is out of the fridge, and now what we're going to do is start putting the butter icing on it. So it's going to be basically just decorating it. And we're trying to make the red sides of the cake this colour, yellowish white colour. So what we need to do is just get a bit of it. I'm just going to kind of randomly just put it on the cake like this. It's nice and decorating. I've gone this far. Almost done. So now, at this point then, I'm going to decorate it now. So I'm going to try and smoothen it out, but not exactly smoothing it out, because I'm going to be using this side of my thing, and I'm going to go around it like I'm smoothing it out, but it's not going to be completely smooth. It's going to have little bumps because of these little spikes here. I like the pattern, look at it looks so pretty. And I'm trying to be gentle as well. You don't want to push too hard that it goes into the cake. At this point now I need to clean the top bit up here. Then it now looks really nice, doesn't it? It looks quite cute with the lines across it. Now it's time for the top, and I've made this jam made of strawberries that I'm going to be putting on the top. And now after this, up here, I'm now going to put some on the edge like this. I like it how it does that. It makes the cake look pretty. The red helps the affectionate of it being a Valentine's cake. After this, I then need to now do smoothen the top. I need to make the top smooth. So I'm going to use my spatula, and I'm just going to go round the top like this to make it nice and smooth and flat. So now after the smoothing the top, as you can see I've done that, I'm now going to tidy up the mess that's at the bottom, that all the jam that's come down has put at the bottom. Look how I've tidied it up. Now it's time for piping. It looks really pretty, and I think it gives out a really nice pattern as well. This is how my piping has turned out. I think any of you can see that I'm a learner really, and I can still have some progress, but that's how it's come out, and I think it looks quite pretty. So now I'm going to put some strawberries and raspberries on the top. So I'm going to put my raspberries on the outside here. Then I'm going to put the strawberries in the middle. I think it looks quite pretty. I'm not going to put all 3 of the strawberries on it because they're a bit big, so they would take up a lot of room. But I think this looks really quite pretty. Happy Valentine's Day! I hope you've enjoyed my learning how to make this cake, because I'm still learning how to cook with basically everything. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and happy Valentine's Day! Make sure that your loved ones love this, and make sure that you make it, and then you can taste it and see how tasty it is. So please remember to subscribe and to hit the like button. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye!